All right, welcome everybody. This will be our third Halloween to playing together, and it's becoming something of a tradition to have a special Halloween game. This one is not really plot related, just kind of tangentially related to the things that we've done over the years. So each of you guys, I gave each of you guys a concept and helped build a little bit of the character and turned you guys loose to flesh it out. So, oh shoot, I forgot about Astartes. Haha, I'm stupid. He just messaged. He's a little bit
Ooh.
running a little late. Um, so, with the exception of Astartes, who I believe is playing our Nosferatu, let's get started and we'll introduce each character. So, let's start with the scholar. I want you to introduce the scholar, please.
Okay.
I was gonna say, just before we get started, I just wanted to take the opportunity to say Happy Halloween from Australia.
That same. Happy Halloween, guys. Um, the scholar is a about 42. He looks at his 40s essentially. He got some gray hair, a bit well kept, short beard, also grayish. He got some nice light brown eyes. He looks okay. He's average looking person, neither handsome or ugly. He looks wise. He looks like a scholar. You can kind of see that from his outfit and from the things he carries. Talking about things he carries, you see that he has a satchel, a leather satchel. He keeps a bunch of stuff in that satchel, including scrolls and pen and stuff like that. He also has some herbs and other kind of items in that satchel. It's a general purpose item, really. He does have a dagger, a nice, nicely forged dagger, and a buckler that he carries on his hips. A small, well, not small, a normal-sized buckler. He is. Let's see what else I can say. It looks like a good person essentially. If you interacted with him, if we have interacted before, you will think that he's a good person. Okay, at least decent person. And he certainly loves knowledge and enjoys learning, despite its dangers time to time. And his name is Alcides.
Alcides. Awesome. All right. Let's move on to Ionessa, our Toreador. Let's introduce Ionessa, please.
Okay, so I suppose you could say Ianessa is probably your typical Toreador. She is very beautiful, very charming. She's always wearing the most gorgeous clothing. She she's very, what's the word I could use to describe her? Vivacious. She loved life when she was mortal, so she kind of transferred that over into her unlife in a sense. So yeah, everyone loves to talk to her. Um, she can, however, occasionally be a little devious, albeit you don't really notice until it's too late. um, and if you ask her, she's always down for a game of dice.
All right, excellent. Moving onwards, the survivor.
Uh, Ariana is a soldier at heart, a mercenary at heart. She has been making her rounds around the Greek cities by selling her services to local princes and local vampires seeking to have a deniable asset at their hand. She is very blunt and has very little in the way of people smarts. She's not the type of girl that would spend her time trying to manipulate others, preferring a more direct solution. Either be that using her sheer force of charisma to back her points, or a more physical solution if necessary when she finds herself faced with adversities.
All right. What does she normally dress in and carry with her?
Normally wearing light leather armor to not have herself being encumbered down. She also carries with her a blade, a sword.
Okay, awesome. Last but not least, our adventurer.
Um, Atreya is overall fairly relatively average in terms of like attractiveness. Basically the type that basically it looks like she could look a lot better if she cared, but she doesn't. So she's just meh. Um, she's tends to be very blunt. Um, ve- Oftentimes very reckless. She is absolutely the kind of person who, if she hears howling, if she hears howling, she is going to have to actively fight herself not to go take a look what's going on. Very much. She knows, despite all that, she knows a lot, surprising amount rather, of old stories and folk tales, that kind of thing. And she has quite the superstitious streak. What is it? There are things scattered around ancient Greece called the Herms that act as basically path markers for travelers, and it was like a tradition to I forget if this is precisely contemporary to the time that we're currently in, but at one point it was considered appropriate to, if you were feeling particularly devout, particularly pious, anoint them with a bit of oil, and she always does that if she has any oil on her. Like, always. Not in the past she had a sword, as indicated in the picture, but in some previous adventures she ended up breaking it. Swung a bit too hard. And that's my excuse for not having a sword on my sheet when I have it in the picture.
All right. Oh, that sounds good. All right. So You guys are all in the city of Corinth, or Corinthia. Um, this is the hometown of Inessa, of course. She knows this hovel quite well that you're in. It's a sailor's hotel known as the Torn Sail. You're on an upper floor. Below you, you can hear the rowdy tunes, sailors stomping and dancing. Corinth, of course, being a travel city where sailors often stop overnight while their ships are getting transported across the through the canal. You are there to meet a man named Hexator. Hexator is an ordinary-looking guy, just wearing your standard clothing, curly dark hair, little bit of a beard, average height, weight, everything. A brownish, blondish, eyes could be whatever color, just an average-looking dude. He says, gathers you all and says, "Good evening, my very good new friends. Tonight, we start a fantastic journey. In ancient Mycenae, the tombs of kings and heroes await us. We have two goals. First, we must find and break into the tomb of Agamemnon. He was buried with a mystical mask of seeing, which we will need to find my real goal. I'll explain that once we have the mask. Now, the trip is 8 hours walk from here, so if you have any last-second preparation, now is the time." And he tosses a small bag of coins, a little bit of silver and gold onto the table. He says, "We don't have very much time, so you might have an hour or so to buy whatever provisions you think you may need. When we get there, we'll have to find shelter so that we can find the tombs tomorrow night with plenty of time to spare." And as he says that, the door opens and the last member of your party comes in. Yes, a disheveled figure wearing a deeply hooded cloak comes in and shuts the door behind him very quickly. Marcus the Unseen has arrived. Please describe Marcus. Stardust? Yeah.
Oh, I think. Yep, his
Okay.
voice wasn't coming
Anyways.
through.
Oh,
Well, we'll give back that apparently.
he gets in and then has performance anxiety.
Yep.
Okay.
Quick
Fair
out of
enough.
character question. Are we starting at a full blood pool?
Yes. Yes, you
I
are.
took a -1 because I assumed this was.
I'll tell you guys what. For the first time ever, I'm gonna make you roll for your blood pool.
Ooh.
Okay.
Roll 3d10 and add them all together.
Okay.
3d10, okay.
Oh. Okay. Oh man, I didn't roll good at all.
So that is your starting blood pool, and I'm gonna roll for our resident Nosferatu. Alright, he's at 18.
I don't know how that would work, because pretty certain my starting blood pool's meant to be 10.
I don't think so.
It's
Okay.
I think based on your generation.
In
like,
new modern day
Unless
games where
it's-
everyone's
yeah.
blood pool is like a max of like 11 or 12, yeah, you roll a d10. but I'm not making you do that on a blood pool of 30.
Okay. Keeps getting its
Besides,
default.
as I've shown, there's plenty of chance to still be at pathetic levels, relatively speaking.
Okay, so your blood pool is what it is. I assume you've all marked it down here. Is anybody below half?
Yes.
No.
All right. If you are below half, you are very much attracted to the activity going on below you. You are having trouble controlling your teeth. They want to descend. You can feel the raging hunger within you is very much not satisfied. And it wants to eat now.
I'll just say, before we head off, I should probably go out and feed.
You know what? I think I'm going to take that opportunity as well. Meet you here then, before we settle.
Hexdor says, "No, I will meet you at the western gate, and bring whatever equipment that you feel you need to buy." And he gestures at the coinage on the table. My master is very generous, and so long as we can stick to the timeline and present him with the gifts that we are going to go take, he is more than willing to share his largesse with you. So please, take what you need, and meet me at the Western Gate in 1 hour, 1 to 1.5 hours.
Of course. 1 to 1.5 hour. Okay.
If we delay much longer, it will be difficult to find shelter.
We will be there.
Cool. Alcides is going to directly try to feed Hunt.
Right, where?
Sailors will be drunk, so somewhere the sailors aren't that many often.
Okay. Well, this is a town of sailors, prostitutes, free love, drug use, and on occasion athletes.
So it's not going to be easy. Okay. In that case, I don't think I have a lot of choices. Which options do I have, just to be clear?
You can feed on whatever you want. It's just difficulty.
Oh, okay. I guess I should say that I don't want to feed from someone that is sick. So.
Yeah, I mean, define sick.
Someone who will spread a disease to me, essentially.
All right. Well, there's a lot of diseases out there, not to put too fine a point on it, and you can't always see them.
Okay, then I'm just going to hunt. Just
right.
hunt.
Make a hunting roll, diff 6. You are descending to the tavern below you.
Yeah.
And the ones on either side, of course, because it's a long street full of the stuff. Unless you want to go hunt in a temple, which might get you hurt severely.
Through ways of outsmarting and subterfuge, I'm going to hunt.
All right. Anybody else?
Words.
You by the way, you only get one person, so your number of successes is the indicator of how quickly you do it.
Okay.
All right.
I'm going to try and sort out someone who's looking both particularly healthy looking and in a bit of a boisterous mood, that kind of thing. Clearly, perhaps had a couple drinks, and I'm just going to walk up to them, challenge them to another wrestle. Winner gets to ride the loser into dawn.
All right. Strength plus brawl.
Uh, just gonna add it as 5 successes.
Yeah, so about 5 minutes after you descend down the steps, you're going back up the steps with a guy nursing a sore arm.
Yep, and I'm I'm not going to quite fulfill the promise in that it won't be into the dawn, but he's gonna have a pleasant experience as I get free
Well,
blood from him.
yep. All right. Um,
Can you hear me?
Alcidus, what road are you on since you brought it up in chat?
Yes, we can hear you. Sorry.
I actually didn't consider about it, but it will be some scholar road if that exists. Maybe
Road of,
road of sin about information knowledge.
yeah. How about Road of Bones?
Okay, that works for me. Let's go for that. I don't know what its sins are, but
I can DM them to you.
Yeah, it's in the
Yeah,
book.
I was gonna say
Yeah,
it's
you're
in the
not supposed to
book.
just randomly
Plus,
kill. I'll say that.
I also have I've got the sheet. So
All right, Marcus the Unseen. You did miss it a little bit. The man Hexador, your contact, has released the group to feed or buy whatever supplies they think they may need before walking to Mycenae, which is an 8-hour walk away. Why don't you describe Marcus, and then you have 18 blood points in your blood pool, so you don't have to feed if you don't want to. So why don't you talk about Marcus for a second?
Marcus is Nosferatu. When he was a mortal, he was always too curious for his own well-being, and that eventually led him to be embraced. But he he thirsts for knowledge or information, but he's really, really a coward. So he will back out of any fight if it starts turning south.
All right. So yeah, you guys all definitely know that he is not one to be relied upon in the heat of battle. So he'll definitely save his own skin. Right? But he is very good at what he does, which is seek information. So he is yet a valuable member of the group. All right. Inessa.
well, I cannot deny that Ines would be tempted to try and fit in a quick game of dice downstairs before they leave.
Right. Yeah. You go downstairs. You're like, man, I got all the money I need. Screw it. I'm gonna gamble a little bit. Why don't you give me your Dex and I think you have Legerdemain for gambling, right? So yeah, Dex and Legerdemain.
Okay, 1 sec. I'll set up that dice.
I think it's
pool.
Legerdemain for you.
Yeah, I just realised she doesn't have any subterfuge.
Yeah, I mean subterfuge is lying. You're not lying. You're gambling.
That's fair. Yeah.
Or no, I take that back. You have an actual skill that is dice games. So
Yeah, that's true.
Dex plus your dice games, diff 5, since you have a specialty skill.
Set up a... Doesn't show up there.
Just roll your Dex plus 4 extra dice. You got your word dicing with got
Right.
3 successes. So
get 7 dice. Standard diff?
5 for you, to 5.
5. Okay.
Yeah, because you're using a sub skill.
Let's play Tali.
Haha. Yeah, you get the game going. Start building up kind of a crowd. This guy's been killing people all night long, figuratively speaking, and you just mop the floor with him. It's just like those gambling movies where somebody gets at the craps table and he's rolling the dice and everyone starts gathering around him. Yeah, that's what's happening right now. So, you walk away with a little bit richer. Do you want to antagonize the man and take a chance of making a little bit more money, or do you want to just walk away while you're ahead?
Well, I'd like to think that Ionessa got to be where she is by being smart, so she's going to leave while she's ahead.
Yeah, good choice. You walk out a little bit richer than you were.
Yeah, she's more than happy with herself right now.
Yep, he takes his loss like a man and lets you go. Ariana.
She has no need to feed it. She is completely full at this point. But the money that she received, would she be able to afford herself some javelins?
Yeah, you could find some pre-made javelins, and I'm sure the vendor would be more than happy to saw them down to. It'd be spears, and he'd saw it off to a javelin length for you.
Yeah, she's going to buy herself about 7 javelins or so.
Yeah, so yeah, you go to a place that's fairly standard. They sell like wooden gear and stuff for ships and whatnot, and they've got a number of spear tips and from a partner blacksmith, and you guys negotiate a price, and they will go ahead and lash everything in. Kind of a crude method. It's not like riveted on, but they split the wood, put the tip in, and then like tie it and glue it together, and then they cut it down to javelin length.
Awesome. With that, she's going to proceed immediately to the meeting spot, not wishing to be late.
Right, yeah, so you hurry off. So far, everybody's on track, on time. Last, we have Marcus.
I'm ready to get going if everybody else is.
All right.
You don't want to feed.
No, I'm not gonna feed right now.
Okay. Marcus has no need to buy anything, so off you guys go.
Okay. Meet at the western gate.
The way to Mycenae is pretty well known, actually. It's not a... why does this keep popping up? It's not exactly hidden, you know? So, off you guys go. Everybody's walking, as far as I know, except for Hexator, who's got a donkey, and he's eating a sandwich as you go.
Do we know if this guy is a human or a vampire?
He's eating a sandwich.
Yeah, I mean, sure.
He's eating a sandwich, and he's got a wineskin with him, and a little bit of cash for pay for incidentals.
What makes you think I can check his aura? Okay. So
If
can we
anybody
talk
has
while...
the appropriate aspects, you can do that.
Can we talk while?
Yeah, absolutely. You guys have 8 hours of walking to do.
Okay. So I'm going to ask to Hexator as we are walking. So about this prerequisite mission that we are doing, the tomb of Agamemnon and the mask of Agamemnon, you say that we need to find the tomb first.
Yes, indeed we do.
Um, um, how much information do we have at the moment?
Well, you're the scholar. I mean, that's kind of why we brought you here, to help answer these questions about where such a tomb might be hidden inside of Mycenae and how to access it, and for the mystical knowledge that would be needed to unlock the seals. So you tell me.
Okay. Okay. Do I need to make a roll to answer to that, or?
No, I'm pretty sure you have enough academics to talk about Agamemnon and his history and who he was. Of course, one of the generals of the Trojan War.
Yeah. Can do some estimation about where the tomb is, and I'd say it to him and to the group as we are walking.
Yes. So there are several dozen tombs in Mycenae. What's going to be the trick is figuring out which one is which without taking too much time.
Yeah. So there are lots of tombs in Mycenae, and our biggest challenge is going to be finding the right one out of these. It's not as quite hard as finding a needle in a bit like among haystacks, but it is still a fairly a good challenge. But between some experimentation and looking at the how to say it, the traces, we should be able to deduct which tomb is the one we are looking for. And once we enter, or find a way to enter it, hopefully things will go smoothly.
Oh, good. That's as I said. That's why my master suggested that we bring you with us. That you are quite the expert at deducing these things.
So, one thing that catched my attention, you said that our actual goal is not this, but rather, after finding the mask, this is going to lead us to the real goal. This real goal, is it still an unknown thing to you, or is it simply something you don't want to share yet?
I don't think now is not the time to share. There are yet he looks up at the stars, and you can all see him do this. This is not like he literally looks up at the stars, and he says, "The omens are not yet in alignment for me to share."
Interesting. I look at the skies as well. I look at the stars as well and try to understand if the way they are standing brings me any memories of any particular religious, I don't know, ideology or anything, essentially. Do I get a glimpse of what kind of fate this might?
Roll your perception plus enigmas.
Position. Okay.
And your Auspex rating, if you have any. Actually, difficulty is 10 minus your Auspex rating.
Okay. Ooh, it's going to be hard then. Perception plus enigmas. Wait, this is initiative. Oops. Perception plus. Are you enigmas? Then that. Wish me luck. At least not a botch.
Yeah, it's the stars.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I don't understand anything. I see. Interesting. So stars are important to you.
He looks at Atreya and he's like, Atreya, a little help, I would think that the two of you, of everyone gathered here, would have some understanding of the importance of the heavenly lights in the sky, right?
In, indeed. The um any cursory examination of this would show oracular visions are never wrong, at most occasionally misleading, and I'm not sure how much you could mislead something like now's not the time to tell. So it's probably for the best.
Most interesting. Will you be joining us into the tomb once we arrive and find our destination?
Of course, I have to take the mask. Although, as our previous agreement said, anything else within the tombs is yours for the taking.
Do I see this man carrying a weapon or something to defend himself?
Nope, not a damn thing. A knife. That's it. Belt knife.
Okay.
And a little horse whip.
Okay.
Because again, he's on a donkey, but horsewhip isn't going to do shit to you guys.
Yeah. Cool. I look at the group and I say, so... Because we never had this conversation out of character, I'm going to make it right now. So, what made you guys join this endeavor?
Exploring places lost to history. Sounds like a fun time.
The tax office affair and a desirable contract. I see no reason why not to take it.
Knowledge.
What about the...
Knowledge. Just want to find out what's in that tomb and why it's so important.
And what about you, lady? Young lady?
ENS is probably going to be a little blunt about her true intentions. I suspect there could be a substantial reward of some sort.
Interesting. Do you know that there are tales of dangerous underground, how to say it, structures, tombs with mummies and, different kind of creatures that come out of nightmares? They are really more of a mystical type rather than what is experienced often. And I certainly never experienced it myself. But I've read stuff about it and heard stories about it from different people. After all, these kind of stories are told to children before they go to sleep. Or if the parents want their children to go to sleep. Anyways, I'm just saying that this is certainly going to be an exciting moment, and the tomb of Agamemnon is a place that I actually wanted to see with my own eyes, touch the walls, feel the ground, So I have high hopes that this is going to be a valuable experience for all of us, and hopefully we will learn much out of this.
Look, if you want to jack off to it, that's your business, but make sure to do it outside.
Well, your humor is wonderful. No, I will think about it.
Are you afraid of what we might find there, Alcides?
Afraid of finding there? No, I'm not afraid of finding anything. If there is any certainty, I am excited to find anything there, be it be dangerous or not. But tombs, they are mysterious, and let's just say that every story has a relative truth to it.
But what is this truth that you heard about this tomb then?
What kind of stories would I know about the tomb of Agamemnon?
Very little. You know stories of Agamemnon, of course, being the famous king that he was. But as far as his tomb goes, you know that it was somewhere in Mycenae, as he was that king there. He was a king of Mycenae, the Mycenaean king, and it was somewhat well hidden. And there are, as I said, several other tombs in the city, including the tomb of Ajax, which is another huge name from the Trojan War. So,
Okay. But I don't know any like mysterious stories about there's this monster in these tombs or kind of like that, like a minotaur or something.
no. Although, of course, Mycenaean culture settled Crete, and Crete, of course, had the Minotaur. The bull motif and the axe all came from Mycenae, so it's all pretty related.
Yeah. Well, I certainly hope that you guys know how Crete is famous for its bull, the Minotaur. I don't expect it to show up in the tombs, of course, don't get me wrong. But certainly, I wouldn't really feel surprised if there was an actual Minotaur in the tomb of Agamemnon. And it would be a delightful experience to see what kind of creature this would look like.
Oh, I'm sure everyone's heard of that legend.
Well, well, if we do find ourselves a
Uh-oh.
I can't hear Albina or
Looks
Ariana.
like Discord might be having a few issues tonight.
Could be.
if we do find ourselves encountering a Minotaur, I do hope you plan to do more than just stare at it.
You can be sure that I'm definitely going to look at it from an educational perspective.
Are you talking about a live Minotaur or just the corpse of this one?
Any really works.
Well, you'd better hope for our sake that it's dead and not still alive.
If it's alive, I'm out of there. There's no way I'm sticking back with that thing.
Well, I heard that Minotaurs like to chase those that run away instead of fight those that stay.
If he wants to run away, let him. Means we can take more of the loot for ourselves.
Look, I'm already deformed as it is. So the only thing I have is my immortality. It's the only thing precious to me at this moment.
Who knows? You might be able to kill it with your handsome good looks.
That is a good one. And let's start laughing.
Well,
You can see ENS even hides a bit of a giggle.
well, I think talking about running away and fighting and such brings up a good opportunity to ask a question, which I think we all should answer, honestly. What are your specialities, so we may have an understanding of which skill sets are within our reach in this group?
I can I can hunt. I can fight. I know some of the old tales. Some other things on the side, but those are the main ones.
What about
I
the rest
mean-
of you?
I mean, if anyone's going to be killing anyone with their good looks, it's gonna be me.
I'm carrying a blade, aren't I? You don't need to be a scholar to make the connection between that and my skills, Mr.
Is that
Octavius.
your... Oh, my mistake. Based on your answer, I took it that your only skill is fighting. Is that what I should have assumed? You don't have any other skills? Nothing at all?
That causes her to furrow her eyebrows a moment as she feels herself gritting her teeth. I have many skills, but you'd not need to find out most of them.
Well, I guess let's stop this route.
Looking a little more. Oh, go ahead.
No, I did not understood what you said.
Oh, I said, let's hope this is the truth.
By this point, you guys are closing in on the city. You're starting to see off in the distance, the mountains are getting more apparent against the night skyline, and somewhere in there is Mycenae, built on top of a hill. And Hexitor starts talking to you guys. He says, "Well, as you guys know, Mycenae is a fallen city. Was once very large. This tales say almost 70,000 people dwelt there. But now something like 10,000, maybe 15. I think you should start thinking about how you're going to find shelter for the day. For myself, I plan on seeking out a nearby farm and asking to stay in their barn, or at least under a nice pile of hay. Have any of you developed any concrete plans?
Ianessa kind of wrinkles her nose a little at the thought of sleeping in a barn. And although possibly not having any other options, she will just inquire, how far away is this farm?
Oh, I have no idea. I'm just going to find a close one.
Would it trouble you if we had to proceed to do the same thing? Or would you prefer solitude in our rest?
I don't care. I have a little bit of money with me. I'm going to pay for a nice hay bale or a bed, some nice food to eat, and I don't care if you guys find a basement or a hole in the ground or, whatever it is that you guys all prefer. And he casts a conspicuous glance at Inessa, probably thinking that, that may be sleeping a little rough for her. But in seriousness, I'm not your boss, so do what you guys need to do.
I mean, we just talked about the fact that there are plenty of tombs there. Can always open up one at random to jump in for the night.
Well, I would caution and suggest that we should enter the city together tomorrow night and not attempt to make a entry tonight.
All right, you say so. What's how hilly is is the terrain particularly flat, or does it look like there could be hills and even maybe like a natural cave anywhere?
There very much could be a natural cave somewhere in the region. It is quite rocky in many places. Small mountains, little like cliffs, overhangs.
Well, there we go. Just need to find one of those deep enough. Get some nice blankets over it for extra bit of protection, and should be good.
Yeah. Well, is anyone good at survival? Finding caves and such?
I can do
Yes,
that. Yes.
and also, worst comes to worst, we can always ask one of the local wildlife for help.
Okay, so the plan is we're gonna find a cave then, right?
Yes.
That's my plan, at least. You can tag along if you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's safety in numbers.
Eunice will
Well,
cross her arms. Well, I could do a cave if I have to.
You said you're good at survival. I trust in your abilities.
Uh, Alright, I'll just make the roll on my own first, and if it seems like it's taking too long, then I'll call down a bird or something to see if it knows anything.
I'll help.
Uh, what would the dice pool be to find shelter in a cave, Chris?
that's going to be wits plus survival. Um, Finding a appropriately sized one that's going to be secure for all of you is going to be difficulty 9. If it's just for yourself, it'd be diff 6. And if somebody's helping you, you can add 2 dice. They, of course, have to have survival for that.
I was going to say, unfortunately, Eunice does not have survival, so she can't help.
Yeah. This represents you guys going out and scouting.
While we are looking for a communal one, can I also look if I can find one that's exclusively for me as a backup haven, something like that?
You cannot do that and help at the same time.
Share. I forgot to set the difficulty, but
That's fine.
that's still one success.
2 successes.
two
Two
successes.
success.
So,
I get 2 successes.
All right.
Okay.
You have just enough time to come back and tell people that you found what you believe to be a suitable shelter. You can either trust Atreya, or you can not trust her and try to go find something on your own, but you will not have a second chance.
I trust Atria.
Ariana, you trust the shelter found by Trey.
I will go with her.
Okay. Yes, you guys. She found a natural depression with an overhang, and each of you guys make a perception plus alertness roll.
Okay.
Except Atreya. Atreya doesn't need to make it, because Atreya knows exactly what happened here.
Alertness, where is it?
Would the specialty of traps apply?
No, this is not a trap.
Oh, sorry, that should be difficulty 5 because I'm using aspects.
Okay. What you see is it looks like something has enlarged the opening enough to squeeze through. This opening was quite small, but there's fresh claw marks and bite marks where something gnawed into it to make the opening wide enough, just wide enough for you guys to slip through. Atreya, you know this because you did it.
move.
Okay.
Of course, Treya doesn't have to say that to anybody, but unless she says that, then all you guys know is, it looks like somebody's worked this a little bit. Somebody or something.
Should I mark off a blood point for that?
Just one.
Okay.
Well, these marks are certainly interesting. Let's hope that whatever did this does not come at the morning while we are sleeping.
And Ariana be able to examine the marks, try to see if it can match to any animal.
It looks like it could be either like a beaver or something like that, but it is in actual stone and like loose rock. So it definitely looks like teeth marks, like something was gnawing at it with its teeth. It's not like wolf or nothing like that. So doesn't look sharp.
Looks like some form of rodent. I wonder what form of rodent would bite its way through a rock like that.
Atreya, are you sure this is safe?
Yes.
Okay. Well. Okay. I will go first.
It's a little bit damp. It's somewhat crowded, and there's only one opening, and there's a bunch of loose rock on the inside, where the rock has kind of cracked and shattered over the years, over several hundreds of years, and yeah, it definitely looks like nothing and no one has been in here ever. So you literally can't do it. You cannot do better than that.
Okay.
Eunice feigns a brief shudder before entering, of course.
And a human. Where did he sleep?
He watches you guys take shelter and then he takes off.
Okay.
He's going for a barn, I think he said.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
going to go pay a farmer or something to see if he can, sleep on their property and maybe get some actual food.
Okay.
Yeah.
After Inisa?
Yeah, unlike you guys, he does
Yeah,
not
well-
subsist upon the raw living blood of animals and humans. So,
Yeah. Yeah, so Eunice enters and finds a nice rock to curl up on rather than sleeping on the dirt.
Squeezing herself inside, Ariana looks for a position that allows her to have easy access to the entrance.
right. The sun begins to rise. Each of you feels the pull of the grave overtaking you. You sit down, some of you lay down, some of you sit with your back against the cave walls, and you die. Only to be resurrected the next evening as the sun sets. And you see a small orange glow just outside the cave opening. You kind of shove your barricade down, and Hexator is outside cooking a rabbit over a very, very low flame, a very low, narrow fire. You can smell the flesh of the rabbit cooking over it. His little donkey is tied up nearby. Of course, it doesn't like any of you, as animals don't. But he stands up. He says, "Well, I guess is it appropriate to say I hope you had a good sleep? I don't know what the right manners here is, but you're welcome to come sit down and we'll discuss our plan for tonight."
Of course, of course. I'm gonna sit down next to him. a bit away from the fire.
Ionessa will also sit.
I'm leaning against the cave, the entrance of the cave.
I'm gonna take a position at his side.
Treya just sits down.
Right. Yeah, he's sitting on a low rock as well to get up off the wet ground. And he says, as he's tearing a piece of the rabbit off, you can see the grease running down his face. It's actually kind of disgusting to you guys because none of you eat. So he says, I have looked at the stars, I have judged the omens, and they are all in alignment. It's time to speak to you about our real goal here outside the city. My scholar friend, perhaps you could tell me, who was the founder of Mycenae and what is he most famous for?
Okay, what do I know about that?
Make an academics roll. Intelligence plus academics, difficulty 6.
Okay,
You have, what's your academic specialty? Do you have one?
Do I? Oh, I didn't know I had to choose one.
Do you have
I have
one?
I have 3
Okay,
academics.
then no, you don't have a specialty.
I have intelligence specialty though.
Of what?
Nexus of knowledge.
Yeah, that'll apply.
Okay. Let's see. Intelligence. Academics. Okay, I given extensive information with 6 successes.
All right, I just typed it to you.
Yeah. Perseus and killing Medusa. And then I just give detail after detail.
Okay, so you recite the movie Clash of the Titans, and we'll go from there. Okay? Is everybody cool with that?
Yes.
Sure.
All right,
Sure.
cool.
Or
Yeah, so he gives us dry. He turns what should be a rousing, epic tale of gods and Greek heroes. Atreya, this is particularly painful to you. Into this dry, academic, boring, sleep-inducing lecture on Perseus. After about half an hour, Hexeter's like, he's starting to nod off. He's like, oh, wait, okay, yeah, you've got everything. So yes, our goal, the Mask of Agamemnon, is the key to finding the treasury which holds the head of Medusa.
Shudders at the sound of that.
And that is the goal of my master. He wants the head of Medusa.
Do I know where Medusa was slain in the myths?
She was slain on an island somewhere in the Mediterranean.
But that doesn't necessarily say where her head is because Perseus took it with him.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Is there any knowledge about the condition that the head might be in? I imagine that your master wishes a head in good condition, not merely the ashes of one.
Medusa was she wasn't a demigod, but she was touched by the power of gods. If her head isn't stone, it should still be in one piece.
Truly, there are some clashes between what seems to be the truth, but one of the more tragic tales is that Poseidon tried to rape her, and then it led to problems after problems. So yes, it's I will say it's a tragic story. At least depending on which source you look at. There are some other sources as well.
Yes. So, you can leave now. But if you do, then our deal is done. He gets up and he brushes it off. He says, if you accompany me into the city, we're in it all the way, and my master will fulfill his every bargain with you, regardless of the condition of the head, whether it be dust, stone, or a living creature.
Well, lead the way if you wish. I'm coming.
We made our
Ionessus stands
agreement.
up. We're with you.
Against my better judgment, I'm also with you on this one.
We made the agreement. We are in it until the agreement is fulfilled.
No chance I'm going to pass this up.
The lawyer claps his hand. He's like, yes, that's what I want to hear. I'm excited. Yes, let's get on it. And he leads his donkey down the slope, and begins going up the long winding trail into Mycenae proper. What you see before you is just an echo of the glories of Mycenae past. The towers used to be topped with gold, with golden scales. Light would show from them. But their towers are toppled, the gold is gone. The vast settlements have been torn apart for stone to be used in other places. And you begin walking up the center, and you find a square very much like this. So you're standing in front of it. It's ruined, though. And he points towards a gate, an obvious gate that's in front of you. And he says, from here on in, I shall be dependent upon the knowledge that each of you possesses. We must go in, we must find the omens and interpret the signs to lead us to the tomb of Agamemnon. Overcome the challenges, and then from there, once we have the mask, to find the tomb of Medusa. So, Alcides, Atreya, please, if you would take point and lead the way for us.
All right. One thing that I'm going to start off with is trying to remember if because there are tales on Agamemnon's death. Is there any indication of location, not necessarily of the tomb itself, but of anything related to that in the tales, basically?
Alcides is going to be, his knowledge of academics and Mycenaean history is going to be critical here, because you're going to have to interpret the signs, the statues, the writings that you find, and your knowledge of his feats, and what you know of his legends will be critical as well, because the two of you combined will be making rolls to navigate.
Okay.
Okay. So we two take the lead then?
Yes, need the two of you to take the lead.
Okay, cool. Well, I look at Atreya and say, well, this is a relatively big place. We have to start from a location, but first, geography is important. So what I'm going to do is, I have an owl, an animal companion. Chris, you know what I'm talking about right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I will just whisper to my.
You don't even have to whisper. You just telepathically tell it.
I know, but I didn't want to say that. But I guess now everyone knows it. Okay, so I will telepathically speak to my owl, and I will just order it to take flight into the sky and just perceive the geographical picture of the landscape, essentially. And I'm going to look through his eyes.
Okay. Let me minimize the picture you see before you, and I will put up a slightly more accurate picture. There's a little more vegetation than what you're about to see, but let's see if I can find it here. This is the wrong one. I gotta switch you guys to another screen.
Yeah. So as my owl silently flies through the dark sky, its eyes will just focus on every part of this landscape and try to. And meanwhile, in my brain, as I'm seeing through the owl, in my brain, I'm considering all the information I know about Agamemnon and the information about, like, I'm basically combining the landscape and information I have to have an approximate idea of where the tomb might be hiding.
All right. So what you see, this is an artist rendition. Mycenae is obviously bigger than this what you see on the screen in front of you, but it's designed in a spiral pattern. It spirals up and then it goes to a plaza, and then it spirals up to the next level and it goes to a plaza, and the plazas are circular. So there's like 2 to 3 levels as it spirals up the mountain. And what you see are these kind of circular plazas, which is much better represented in the other picture, are at a couple of levels, and there's still a little bit of vegetation with them. Not very much though, but they used to be like lined with trees around the outside, and a couple of these have like mounded hills, and these mounded hills are the indications that there is a tomb there, because there's no buildings on it, there's no signs of other that people lived on top of it. It's an actual dome that's built. Like, they make the tomb and then they just pile rocks and dirt and shit on it to make a dome.
Okay, so our best bet is those mounded hills then.
Yes.
Okay. So once I see that through the eyes of my familiar, I'm gonna leave its perception, go back to my own, and summon the bird back to me. I will look at Atreya and say, "Okay, Lady Atreya, I do have an estimation of where the tomb we are seeking might be. You see those mounded hills? I suggest we start a search from that point. That should give us the most likelihood of finding something valuable." And then I will go towards that direction.
You need to mark a point of blood off for that, by the way, please.
Yeah, I did that.
All right. Yeah, so you guys begin heading up the spirals, if you were humans, and in fact Hexeter actually dismounts off the donkey and does a little bit of walking. He's breathing a little heavy from the exertion. You come to one that's about the middle area, and you realize this is pretty close to what you had seen. There are 6 of these mounded tombs, and they look like that, right? Except there's a dome over them. That's what the top has been peeled off. And there's a path that leads off of this circular plaza. And in the center of the circular plaza, you see the symbol for infinity in yellow painted It used to be gold, but the gold is gone, and somebody has taken the time to take stones, paint them yellow, and lay them in their place. So there's yellow painted stones in the symbol for infinity. There's a number of statues. Some of them are old and crumbled. If you have it, everybody make a perception plus alertness roll. The difficulty is 6. Of course, if you're using Auspex, apply your Auspex bonuses.
Okay. Awareness?
Alertness.
Alertness, okay.
Alertness. As I say, all specs only decreases diff by 1, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
All right. If you hit, I see 2 successes. Ariana. Atreya, is that your perception roll? With 4 successes?
I think Luke was pretty silent when he spoke, so...
Sorry, what was that? You cut out for a second.
Did you make 4 successes on your perception roll?
Yeah.
Okay. Somebody's here. You can hear them, but you can't see them. You've heard the tread of a foot, some rocks tumbling a little bit. Somebody's out there watching you. I would like you each to put your character on the yellow circle.
On the yellow circle?
Somewhere on the yellow circle.
Uh-oh.
Let's see. So I have a quick question, Chris, just to clearly understand something. These spirals...
Those are tombs. Those are paths leading off to the tombs.
Okay. And this...
The yellow
Yellow
circle
thing
is the plaza.
Okay.
That's the center of plaza. Obviously, I wasn't going to make a, 500 by 500 grid to properly display the skill of the tombs.
Okay. So I assume next to Atreya, because we've been taking care of this together.
Okay.
So I will just place it like this.
All right.
If Atreya is there.
And where is Marcus?
Just drag your name to the map.
Drag your character portrait to the map. Yeah. All right. Boom. Boom.
So I look at Atreya.
Alright.
I actually see that she is focused at something, so I don't want to interrupt her, so I wait for a second to...
Alright, Hector and his donkey are
She'll be
just
there.
at the very back. They're like, yeah, we're trailing behind.
Mm.
Him and his donkey are back there.
Ines is just inspecting one of the statues, remaining as close as she can to the rest of the group.
However his name's pronounced, is his owl still in view?
Oh, shit, yes. Yeah, my owl will be like on my shoulder at the moment.
Alright. Without a word, I'm just going to look you in the eye, look to the owl, and sort of vaguely gesture around us, and then to my eyes, hoping that will get the
I
message
need an
across.
initiative roll from everybody.
Oh shit, we are getting right.
Yep.
The silence of the dead.
Um,
As soon as I figure out there's somebody here, I'm actually going to use silence of the dead.
okay,
Now
so
in my unseen presence.
you go completely silent. Plus, you're also unseen. You said you were walking with obfuscate, and you walk with obfuscate.
Okay, rolling initiative.
Okay.
Oh man, I'm not ready for this.
Not a bad roll, actually, considering.
Initiative is with plus dexterity. there's no difficulty, but I don't think it matters. Okay, not a 13 there.
All right. I'm gonna start
My sheet
dragging.
won't come out. My character sheet won't come out.
You've obfuscated too hard.
I see your portrait on there. You did it.
Yeah, but I closed my character sheet. Now that I want to open it again, I cannot find it. It's not open now.
Chris, just because what I'm going to do, I think, can I take a full defense essentially? Do I need to wait for my initiative to do that?
Yes, you do actually.
Okay. Okay. I
Alright.
still have my butler.
5 humans step out with spears. And I'm not quite done. Come on. 2 of these guys. They have no armor. Nobody has any armor, by the way. They each have a sword. And that guy steps out, and he too has only a sword. Now, let's see. Okay, I gotta scroll up here. That's the one bad thing about these. When you do roll 20 is, I wish I had a bigger screen. Alright, shit. Come on.
Just
17. You're at 16, not 17. Come on. They're also at 16. Alright, so Marcus, what was your initiative?
I- I'm thinking I'm gonna restart Roll20 because I cannot open my character sheet.
Okay. I'm gonna look up your character sheet and I'm gonna roll your initiative for you while you're doing that.
I stopped that we would get into the tomb before the combat. Oh, shite.
At this time, though, ENS is having spotted all those guys entering, is gonna instinctively just whip out her dagger, ready in defense.
Alright, who else we got? I got Atreya, I got Alcides, I got Marcus, Ariana. What was yours?
15.
15.
These humans roll
1, 2,
pretty, or maybe they are
3,
not human.
4. Who am I missing?
Yanessa, she
Yanessa.
also rolled 7. She rolled 17.
Alright.
Well, I rolled 17.
Does Ines have celerity?
1 dot. Hopefully
Okay.
it'll come in handy.
So you should have added that to initiative.
Well,
Oh,
your initiative
educated, we
is
can
an
do that.
18 unless you're going to use celerity, in which case it drops to a 17. And I'm still going to let you go first. So let me add some appropriate music and we will get started.
Okay.
Going to the music. Music. Come on, music. There we go. M.
Oh, you are using right item. Oh, I think that bot got.
I'm I'm not using rhythm.
Bad. You're not?
Nope. It's called jockey music.
Chris,
Yes.
reading Unseen Presence, it says I can do a sneak attack, and I can remain hidden depending on the difficulty. What's the difficulty if I use the sneak attack while with Unseen Presence to remain hidden?
Obfuscate. Should a canine draw attention to himself by sneak attack, blunder, or speech, accidental attention, they will call for a wits plus stealth roll difficulty from 5 to 9 based on the amount of noise or calamity the canine has caused. So, if you whiff the attack, like no damage, if you totally miss them, it's diff 5. If you hit them, it's diff 7, and if you hit them and cause damage, it's diff 9. Because they're going to turn and look at you.
Okay.
Alright. Inessa, you're up.
Okay, so I'm guessing it's reasonable to assume that this one is the leader.
It probably is, yes.
Okay, so she's going to try something here. A non-violent action. She's going to attempt to use Invade the Mind.
Okay.
Asking for no consent.
Spend a point of willpower. And...
Okay.
Because it's you go to invade the mind, and you find it's unexpectedly difficult. You have to spend a point of willpower to power past its defenses.
Fair enough.
And
She
I
really
believe that's
doesn't wanna
a
get-
perception plus empathy roll.
Invade the Mind is actually Intelligence plus Subterfuge.
Okay. Nope. Then roll that. And what are you invading his mind
Okay.
for?
To try and implant a thought that I should probably tell my men to lower their weapons. We are no threat.
Alright, so your difficulty is 6.
Okay. I was just double checking the... Okay, so I'm guessing his willpower's 5.
No, his willpower is 6.
Oh, okay. Right. So, rolling. Oh, actually, before I do, I will just mark off that willpower. I'll try and refrain from spending another one at this point.
While you do that, Chris, quick question. Do these people look at the moment very violent, or do they looking still okay-ish?
Oh, no. They're coming to kill you.
Okay.
As it turns out, you guys aren't the only ones who know how to read omens. Yeah, it obviously you see it take effect, and he shakes his head, and he turns and he looks straight at you, and you see his eyes, and you know that he knows that you did that.
Move down.
All right. Next up are these two guys, and I need to make a couple of rolls using my physical dice. Yay! I haven't broken these out literally in like 2 years.
Just
Oh,
waiting
it was
for
a-
this special session.
It was worth a shot.
It in fact was worth a shot.
Yeah, let's just hope that gives us one action at least.
Ooh. Okay. All right. Where did I put my? There it is, underneath my stack of shit. Of course, it's right on the bottom. Had to be on the bottom. And they are going to use a magic power.
Shit, magic power.
Yes, they are.
Fuck are we dealing with?
I guess we'll find out.
Ariana, you suddenly hear a cacophony of noise and sounds in your head. It sounds like screams and moans, and you see bursts of color in your sight, and it knocks you up mentally off balance. You are stunned this round. You can make no actions.
Okay.
Jesus.
The next most dangerous looking person here is probably Atreya, and you too are assaulted with cacophony of noise and sounds. And I will actually rewind that for a second. Both of you need to roll your current willpower. Ariana, you need 4 or more successes at Diff 6. And, Ariana, you need 3 or more. Atreya, you need 4.
This guy is our man, right? He's the Hexa.
Damn it.
Alright, you are both stunned. Atreya for 1 round, Ariana for 2. It's the difference between their successes and yours. That's both of their actions. Spear carriers, literal spear carriers. 1, 2, 3. All right. Come on, get off of that. Thank you. All right. They are making attacks. Now these guys are two-hand wielding spears, which do strength plus 3 lethal. 1, 2, 3. Atreya, soak 6 lethal. As 2 of the spear carriers rush up to you, and they just begin stabbing overhand, underhand strikes as hard as they can. Whack, 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 whack! At the same time. Ionessa, they're coming after you as well. 1 person. And they only hit you for 1 success, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Soak 3 lethal, please. And Ariana, because you look incredibly dangerous, you are in fact incredibly dangerous, so they hit you for 1 success. Now rolling. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Soak 8 lethal.
Fortunately, I'm not going to be able to soak at all, but we'll see how much of it I can soak.
The specialization that is 7.
Outstanding.
Hey, at least you can't watch a soak roll.
It just means I take 2 lethal. So
Yep.
3 lethal.
Oh, Jesus.
It's the cross.
All right, and he is rolling. This guy is rolling next. He is also casting a spell of sorts. All right. And he gets to roll, let's see, 4, 6, 7. All right. You see a sphere that is very similar to what you have come to grow accustomed to for obtenebration, but it's not. It's, in fact, if you gaze into it, you see shapes, screams, faces that appear and disappear. They moan and writhe, and if you're caught in it, you can actually physically hear the screams, and you feel the very fabric of your beings being torn apart, atom by atom, by the entropic forces of the universe. That is going to be Marcus and Ariana. This is fortitude only soaking.
No fortitude.
But do they know where I am?
Actually, I do have fortitude, that I completely forgot to use it.
They do not know where you're at. You're just caught in the sphere.
As it goes to Ariana, you are right next to her.
Yeah.
I do not have fortitude, so I'm taking it all in.
Armor also does not apply, yes?
Armor does not apply. Those of you who can see his allies instantly realize his allies are not affected. They seem to be
Immune.
immune to this.
Wonderful.
What is the damage?
3 lethal. So it can, of course, be healed as lethal damage. It is not aggravated.
Yes.
All right, Ariana, you are, of course, stunned for this round.
And I cannot heal while stunned, yes?
No, you cannot heal. I will, however, have you make a courage roll. Because the beast realizes you're getting hurt bad, and it struggles to get out. You're a survivor. Your beast knows this.
Difficulty 6.
You're a Bruja, right?
Yes.
8. Well, there you go. Your beast rails, trying to slip the leash. And just instinctively, you're like, no, I can fight this. I don't need you right now. Marcus, you're caught in this entropic sphere, and you feel it tearing you apart. What is your action?
You skipped my initiative.
I'm very sorry. You're right, I did. Alcides.
Okay, so I don't know if this is possible, but could I try to animate these trees here and let their root extend towards these humans and try to restrain them?
They are a little too far away for the branches to grab them.
Okay. In that case, I'm gonna first buff my stat.
Yes, spending blood. Good idea.
4 blood for dexterity, so my initiative will go up by 4 as well. Okay. And 2 blood for soak. Stamina, I mean.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to move here, and with my... I'm going to take multiple actions. So with my first strike, I'm going to attack this guy with my dagger.
All right.
With multiple action penalty.
So Dex melee, diff 7, -1 dice.
Yes. So dexterity. Melee. -1 die. And difficulty 7.
Mm-hmm.
Let's roll.
All
Okay.
right. Roll damage.
Right. So dagger does +1 damage.
Yep. Strength +1 extra.
Yes. So it's 2 lethal.
All right.
Rest of my multiple actions is going to be parry until I cannot parry, essentially. So I'm just going to take a parry after parry as long as I can.
Okay. Come on, select the guy. It would help if I did select and not draw shape.
So you see me doing this attack very poorly despite the dexterity
Yep.
boost. So
All right.
I look very weak,
Yeah.
non-threatening.
Yep. Marcus.
Okay. I'm gonna. I want to run out of that zone and
Okay.
hide over here.
Yeah. Just move your character.
Yeah, and I wanna use blood buff.
Okay.
3 to dex, 3 to stamina.
All right. Sounds perfectly fair. Anything else?
I can still hit it.
I can't hear you. You're breaking up. Anything else?
I'm hidden, and I want to stay hidden until I figure out who is the biggest threat on the field right now.
Okay. That's a viable plan. Atreya, you're stunned. You have... It's just this round for you, right?
Yes.
All right. Inessa, you're up. You are blood buffing this round.
Indeed.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, thought I'd lost audio then. So I figured I think this round she's already decided that probably not a good idea to try the... Well, I mean, she's tried the non-violent option, but I think she's resigned to the fact that she's going to have to defend herself. So she is going to turn around to... She's going to decide which one she's going to attack first. I'm gathering she's noticed that 2 of her coterie members are currently stunned. Haven't been able to do anything.
Yeah, you definitely would have seen that at least 2 of them like kind of grab their heads like, oh, like it hurts, oh Jesus. And of course you can see the swirling vortex of fear in front of you.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I'm still, even though I've been playing this long, I'm still figuring out what to do with celerity in combat. But, so with 1 dart,
You get 1 extra action, or you can take, or you can use the extra dex dice. So
Okay, so with the extra action, that normally means I have to split my dice pool for that?
What it is you lose a dice with each extra action, but you're not if that you use with celerity, but you don't gain difficulty.
Okay. Because if she can, she might try and strike both of the nearby enemies
Okay.
once
So
each.
if you're going to use your celerity, tell me now. Spend a point of blood, and then we'll use your first action. We'll go through the turn order, and then we'll do your celerity action.
Okay, just also advising in advance, this will put it below half
Yep.
blood pool. Okay, so she's spending the celerity. She's going, screw this. I have no choice. And she's going to just do a standard weapon strike on both of them.
Okay. So the one attacking you, I assume, you're going to do first,
Yeah,
which would be the one below your character portrait.
below. Okay.
Yeah, that one. All right.
Yep.
Roll your dex melee, please. Diff 6.
Okay. Set this up before. Did you say diff 6 for
Yep.
this one?
Diff 6.
Okay.
You're at -1 dice,
Oh,
Which
yeah,
is-
I forgot about that.
but since you don't
So I'm
use your
after-
celerity, it's technically full dice pool.
I'm gonna have to re-roll that.
It's fine. You got 2 successes. So roll damage, which is strength +1, plus 1 extra dice for extra successes. So strength +2.
Strength +2. I think that worked.
Thought you added more than that to your strength. But, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I think it added the extra 2. The buff. And also the 2 extra dice.
Right. So yes, you hurt him badly. He is cut badly. He's bleeding heavily. Roll your self-control at difficulty 6.
Oh boy.
On that note, I want to say I'm also below half.
All right. Okay. Well, you hold your beast back from the obvious, from exulting and then just like leaping on this guy and starting to eat everything in sight. Now for these two. They see the first attack on this guy. He didn't go down. So, boom.
Oh, they are going hard on you, jeez.
I'm actually going to do that. All right, so one of them is using...
Oh, what about the other one? This guy.
You will attack him with your celerity action.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
right, yeah, at
happens
the end of the
after.
round.
Yeah.
It's alright.
Sorry.
That's okay, I was just
Alright.
gonna say I'd forgotten. So.
I'm going to flip back to that power. Alkidus, roll your willpower, please. Your current willpower.
Okay.
They got 6 successes to affect you.
Oh, yeah, I don't think that's going to work.
So yeah, roll your current willpower. 2. You are stunned for the next 4 rounds.
Oh, okay.
Ouch.
Okay, you guys can count me outside the combat.
We
I'm
might
just
die
gonna-
before we enter the tomb.
Yeah, we will die. Okay, I'm just gonna watch now.
Yep, so the other one is rolling his dex in melee, which is considerably less dice. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that's gonna suck for you guys. All right, so Atreya, I just need you to keep track of this. So you're gonna soak 5 from this guy, and then these two also get their shots. I may have made this a little too hard.
Not too hard. You made it hard.
7.
If we play this right, we might
So-
just come out of this alive.
This sucks because this guy just hit you for 7 successes. Oh, I take it back.
Jesus.
5 or 4 because he can only roll 5 dice. I rolled too many. He hit you for 4 successes. So strength plus 3, so 6, 8, 9.
Thankfully, this is only a one shot.
Dude, this is
So
like
that's
playing
11
Dark
lethal that you got to soak so far.
Yeah. You're playing Dark Souls, but at hard difficulty on top of Dark Souls.
Yeah, the hardest difficulty.
Yeah. You're playing Dark Souls with blind condition.
Soak 15 lethal.
I can't. That even if I rolled all successes, that would take me into torpor.
Atreya bites the dust. She's down for the count, spear sticking out of her. Thunk.
At this rate, I really do not want to enter combat.
Just
Ju-
run away. Just run away to get the 4 XP because this is
Yeah, just for fun, I want to see how far into torpor I am.
this is like Halloween one shot ended before it started.
Indeed.
Well, guys, it was fun to play today. See you guys later.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Weeks of preparation. Woohoo.
Well, to be fair, it's a perfectly normal Nosferatu thing to do.
Well, and also to be fair, his the concept was the successful coward. So yeah.
He's going to be the only successful one by being a coward.
To be honest. Yeah.
Oh! I'm not even in torpor. I'm just dead.
Yeah.
I
So
don't even know
Atreya
if,
begins to decay in front of your eyes. Not ashed, not instantly ash, but she's beginning to rot. This guy sees that things are well in hand, and because he's a lover, not a fighter, he begins to back off. He's like, "Yeah, I don't want any part of this hand-to-hand shit. Fuck that stuff."
Yeah, I don't even know if Ines is going to be able to get away at this point.
I forgot to roll the guys fighting against Ariana and the guys fighting against Inessa. I just dropped the dice. That's why I sound weird. Had to get down there and pick it up. Alright, Inessa, the guy that's attacking you, whiffs. He totally misses. He goes to shove it at you, but he's weak and he's bleeding, and you just kind of sway to the side and it just goes right past you. Doesn't hurt you at all. And let's see, Ariana, you need to soak 4 lethal from the swirling sphere of entropy.
Can I use blood to auto soak the fortitude?
Yes, this does not stop you from soaking.
So I'm
And
going
it doesn't-
to use. Yeah, I'm going to use the blood to also auto soak 3 fortitude.
And the first guy who attacks you completely whiffs, just totally misses you. Holy shit, and so does the second guy. 2, 2, 3, 6, and a 1.
I think I took all the bad luck from you.
Alkidas, you are stunned.
Can I spend blood still?
No, you cannot consciously spend blood. You can... and Ariana, self-control roll, please. At difficulty 9, you're in mortal danger.
Should I make a courage check as well?
Yes, but your diff is going to be 5 because you're not at a you're not under active attack. You're just stunned, but you did see your companion go down. Marcus, you're up. You are still obfuscated.
I'm conflicted because I really want to help the party, but my character is built more like he wanna sneak away. Let's see. Did I see the blue robed wizard guy walk away?
You see him back away. He doesn't just walk away, but he backs away. He puts his back to the statue.
Okay. In that case, fuck it. I'm going to go here. He cannot hear me. I'm gonna aim my bow right at his head. I'm gonna keep aiming.
All right. So your action to this round is to aim. Gotcha.
Yes.
Alrighty. New celerity action. Inessa.
Okay. So she figures that the guy she attacked before,
He's still up. He's on his feet.
he's on his feet, but probably not as big a threat as the other guy. So she'll try and weaken them both as much as she possibly can. So same thing. I was gonna consider doing a great blow, but then that would make, so I'd be down 1 dice but up 1 difficulty on that. So I think I'll just do another weapon strike.
Okay.
Standard weapon strike.
Yeah. So it's again difficulty 6, but you are now down a dice for the extra action.
So I'll put a -1 on that one.
Yep.
Oh, plus I've got wound penalties, so we'll see how this goes. I think that's the other reason for not doing the great blow.
Yep. And then after this, we'll be back to the top of the turn order, which is you again.
Again.
Okay. That's a success. Can't dodge. Roll your damage. Strength plus 2. Strength plus 2 extra dice.
Then +2 again.
Yep.
Okay,
And then
cool.
remember, wound modifiers do not apply to these damage rolls.
Okay. That's right, so, okay. Thank you for reminding me of that.
Outstanding. You stab him directly in the spine underneath his skull, and the point of your knife comes out the front of his throat, and he goes, and his spear falls to the ground, and he just falls off of your knife in a wet heap. Thunk. Yeah. Down goes Fraser. Down goes Fraser.
Of course, all the while, Leonis is trying not to have a look of, I wouldn't say disdain, but trying not to cringe while doing this. She's purely in survival mode right now.
Yep. All right, Inessa, top of the order. You have disposed of one attacker. Now you're up again.
Okay. Well, she figures, seeing as she was able to dispose of that one quite easily, she'll turn and finish the other guy off, just to make sure.
All right. Are you using your celerity this round?
Probably not.
Okay, well that's fine. So add 1
'Cause-
extra dice to your dex roll when you go to stab this dude.
Okay. So I'll take away.
And top of the order, are you spending blood to heal? If you do, I need you to make a stamina roll.
Yeah, I think she's at the point where she knows she doesn't have as much blood as she'd like. So she might pass this round.
Okay, that's
If
fine.
she has to, she might leave it for
Alright.
another round.
Give me a Dex melee roll, diff 6.
Okay.
At full dice pool minus your wound penalty, and add 1 for your celerity because you're not using it.
Okay.
All right. No need to roll damage. You finish this guy off. You make a cross in the opposite direction across him. So now he's got an X-shaped wound across his chest and belly, and he goes down to one knee and then falls over, weakened and now dying, bleeding out on the uneven cobblestones. All right. Now these guys see that happen, and they ain't no fool. So
They know who to target next.
yes, they do.
Yeah, they're gonna stun all of us, and then it's just going to be the rest of the nation.
Yep, they're stunning her.
This-
That's the first action.
This is turning into like playing with your toys essentially.
All right, so then it's roll your current willpower. They achieved 5 successes, so you are stunned for rounds equal to your successes minus 5, or 5 minus your successes.
I'm guessing standard diff.
Yeah, diff 6, please. All right, so you're stunned for the next 3 rounds.
Okay.
All right, these 3 guys move up and begin attacking our scholar. So that's 5 from the guy with the sword. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Spearmen are attacking. 1 success. Six, 7, 8. Soak 11 lethal. Alcidus.
Okay. So that brings me to 1 aggravated, 6 lethal.
Alright, and you're incapacitated and stunned. Alright, Ariana, you gotta soak. You're gonna have to soak 4 from the whirling round of chaos. And the spearman hits you. For 6, so that's 10 total lethal.
I'm going to once again use the fortitude to auto soak through.
Okay? Alright, so that's 7 left. And I believe you are done being stunned this round.
And that is 3 successes. Am I able to heal?
We are now it's your turn, so yes, you can heal.
Because this knocks me into unconsciousness, but
Oh, that happens before your turn.
Yeah, it does happen before your turn. So
also those injuries just injury minus applies to soak rolls.
wound penalties do not apply to soak rolls.
Oh, then that has made that dice is wrong.
Okay. Yes, please feel free to reroll that. Yeah, wound penalties never apply to soak rolls.
Yeah, it is even
Yeah,
worse.
let's take the better roll on that one, anyways. And so
Sure,
you are
still down.
unfortunately knocked incapacitated.
Yes.
Okay. On the plus side, after this round, the swirling thing of chaos disappeared. So it fades off. We kind of skipped him, but he is looking. He sees 1 down, 2 down, and he sees the two of you are like got your heads like, oh god. He thinks, oh cool, things are well in hand. I'm gonna chill. So he skips. Achates, you are essentially incapacitated. Marcus, you're up.
Still gonna keep aiming.
Okay. He hasn't moved, so you essentially have an arrow pointed point blank at his head.
Yeah, but the more I aim, the more dice I get when I finally shoot.
Yeah, no. There's pretty much a cap on that. But yeah, you can only aim for so much.
Yeah, on up to my perception rolls, my perception dots.
Okay. There you go. Learn something new every day. Onwards. Atreya is passed. Vanessa, you're stunned this round, correct?
Indeed.
Okay. You can, the beast within you, make a courage roll. Difficulty 9. You're in mortal danger. All right. The beast is unable to escape from the shackles you have imposed upon it. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Alkidus, they're going to spend this round stabbing you until you are no more.
I anticipated that 5 rounds earlier.
You're incapacitated. They don't know you're a vampire, so they think you're dead because you're on the ground not moving. So they make their way here, and they begin to stab at you. Wow, that was unexpected. Good thing they don't have a specialty. Anessa, you are incredibly lucky, because I rolled 3 extra successes, and on 10 damage dice, I rolled 1 success from the spearman.
Wowza.
Jesus Christ. And on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 damage dice from the swordsman, I rolled 1 success. Soak 2 lethal.
Does that mean I? Oh well, I don't have any fortitude, so
So roll your
I can't soak that.
current
Can I?
stamina. Yeah, you can roll lethal. Soak all your stamina. You blood buffed your stamina. Stamina plus blood buff. No wound penalties.
Alright, here we go.
There you go. You soaked it all. They went stabby stab, and even though you are, your vampiric body just shrugs off the damage. Doesn't do anything to you. I say, Ariana, you're incapacitated. Alcatraz, you are done. Treya's done. Marcus.
I'm gonna shoot at this guy.
All right. So aiming adds dice or reduces difficulty? Which one is it?
It adds the dice.
Okay. Dexterity plus archery plus your extra dice. Difficulty
Plus
4.
plus my celerity.
Okay, yep, diff 4. You have a point, literally a point. You cannot get any closer without breaking your obfuscate. That's how close you are.
And because I have the silence of death, they cannot hear me when I actually kill this guy.
So you're gonna expand the
Yeah, still
expand the
7 meters.
radius the instant before you release the arrow.
Yes.
That sounds wonderful. Excellent. The damage of a arrow, I believe, is 2 lethal. So roll. Is it? I believe it's 2.
Yeah.
Roll 9 damage dice.
Doesn't the head give extra damage?
Well, it would have increased its difficulty if I did headshot, but roll 9. Roll 9 damage. You rolled 6. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you sneak up right behind him, and you're like, you got the bow all the way out, and you're like, he's just kind of like nodding his head a little bit, and you're following him with your arrow, just bouncing up and down. You're like, not yet, not yet. And you see one companion go down, you see 2 companions go down, 3 companions go down, and the guy's like, yeah, we got this. Fucking Tomb Raiders. They're not getting it tonight. And you're like, all right, now's the time. Release. Thwack. Straight through. Straight out the back of his head. Straight between the eyes. Straight out. Boom. Down he goes. Instantly dead. Just like that. Now roll your wits plus... was it wits subterfuge?
Yeah, it's wits and stealth.
Roll wits stealth at diff 9, please.
But this that's why I extended my silent of death.
Yeah, let's make it diff 6. They're all quite occupied, but you did just kill a dude. You just killed their leader, so we'll make it diff 6. So that did break your obfuscate. But I think, yeah, silence of death, plus they're not looking at you, makes it much easier. That's all you needed. None of them are looking. Woof. You appear momentarily for the briefest blink as the arrow leaves your bow, and then woof, you are once more gone. Vanessa, next round, you roll self-control, please. Diff 9.
Control. You said diff 9, yeah?
Yep.
Ouch.
All right. Fuck this noise. You erupt in frenzy. Your beast spends instantly blood to heal. You spend blood for celerity. You're taking extra actions. And you leap on the guy with the sword in a grapple maneuver. What is your current strength?
It'd be safe to say she spends 3 to heal the 3 she lost before.
Okay, yep.
The 3 damage.
She's spending 4 blood total. Now roll your strength plus brawl at diff 6.
Okay, hold up. Let me fix my blood pool. Okay.
And you can spend
that
6
dice
per round,
pool.
right? I think. Your 6th gen?
4. Book said 4.
Okay, so you spend the 4. I thought you were higher, lower gen than that. But anyways, yes, you leap on the guy, and you are grappling him. So go ahead and make your strength brawl roll.
There's diff 6.
Yep, diff 6. All right. With 3 successes, you leap upon him. What's your current strength score?
Including the buff?
Yeah.
4.
Yeah, he can't beat that. You, with this, all the strength and fury of the beast, you leap on this guy. His sword goes clattering across the rough cobbles. You leap. The two of you are rolling across the pavement as he's struggling to get out, and the beast within you is like, "No, I see a tasty meal, and you're it." He uses his action. He struggles. He can't get it. So you two are kind of like rolling across the pavement, right? You're in the same square. These guys, he runs up, they run up, and they're looking for an opening, trying to get you. They're looking for an opening, and they're going to be making a dex brawl rolls at difficulty 8 because of the frenzied action.
If she
Sorry,
gets the
not dex brawl,
opportunity,
dex melee. I apologize.
if she gets the opportunity, she's going to drain this guy dry.
Yes, she is. All right, so the first guy misses. And the second guy, the spearman, stabs this guy in the back with a double botch.
Ouch.
Yep, stabs his buddy straight in the back. Doesn't kill him. Does hurt him.
One question: who stabbed who?
The spearman stabbed. So okay, I keep forgetting you guys can't see when I select a character. That spearman stabbed this guy in the back. He is a literal backstabber. He was like trying to get Inessa, and they like rolled over just as he went up over his head, full force strike, straight down, whack! Got his buddy like in the back shoulder blade. Gah! He's like, oh shit! Pulls this thing out. You hear him shouting at each other in Greek. Stabber, stabber, get it off of me, man! You gotta help me! Fuck them, oh my god! Yeah, so the spearmen are all kind of like looking. Can't really get a clear shot. Ariana, you're still incapacitated, right? Marcus.
I'm gonna shoot at the guy that just got stabbed. And did he take damage?
Yes, he did.
Okay, I'm gonna shoot at him.
Okay. Dex Archery, Diff 8. Awesome. Roll your damage.
That's gonna be 2 plus 3, right?
Yes. He's hurting quite badly. Now you get to roll your wits stealth at diff 9 this time. Because they see the arrow appear, and they're not dumb. There's several of them who aren't really that occupied, and they look around to see if they can see what they fucking just happened.
And can I still move after that?
Yeah, so I assume you're gonna roll back behind the statue, but they still get a chance to see you do it.
Yeah, but I remain hidden right now. So I rolled and...
Okay, there you go. Yes, you did. They do not see you roll behind the statue, move, duck, dodge, whatever. They're like, where the fuck? And you can see them looking around. Where'd that come from? And they're like, you can hear them talking. Where'd that come from? Where's the archer? Nissa, you bite. Dex Brawl, diff 5.
Okay. This one. Sorry, what did you say the diff was?
5.
5. Oops. Brawl.
Alright, you bite, you drink. Take 3, you get 3 blood. Right now. All attacks made against you, the jumping, the fighting, it all stops. He is on top of you. You have your arms and legs wrapped around him. You're drinking from his neck. Any attack made against you right now until you are done feeding is at difficulty 9.
Okay.
New round. You drink 3 blood. And the man atop you dies. You feel his pulse, the beast feels his pulse fade out, and his life gives out. His heart stops. He is now lifeless. Roll self-control at difficulty 8. You come to, you regain awareness at the end of this round, and you realize that you have this body atop of you and your teeth buried in his neck. But you don't hear the sound of very much fighting going on. What you do hear is people looking. What the fuck? Where is he? Where's that guy? Where's that archer? So
they're distracted.
Dead. This guy is still... He is looking around. What the fuck? So he's like actively scanning. This guy actively scanning, looking around, trying to see what's going on. These 2 spearmen, though, are both trying to stab you still.
Of course.
1 success. How about that? Wow, second one really kicked ass. Soak 8 lethal.
Guessing it's me.
Yep, that's you.
Okay.
The first guy, like, barely gets an arm. The second guy, like, gets a good angle and just takes this thing and wedges it into your hip. Like, right at the right angle. So he comes in real low and just gouges it into your hip, oblique stomach area. You feel the spear just, like, dig. Flook! Slides right up into you.
Yeah, I also just remembered I had to remove those wound penalties.
Yep.
Um,
So I believe that's 5. That's self-control. It's not the wound yet.
I won't be able to soak all of it, unfortunately. So you said it was 8 lethal, yeah?
Yeah, 8 total.
Alright, well, let's see how much of that we can shave off.
Oh no!
None. Well, there
you
she
are
goes.
knocked incapacitated.
I'm
Pretty
booking
sure
it.
Dead, isn't she?
All right, Marcus, you take off running. You are saving yourself. All right. Now, Ariana and Anna, you guys don't see what happens here. What you do here is literally nothing. It goes completely silent. And when you come to, all the attackers are dead. And Hexator is pulling your 2 incapacitated bodies to a spot of safety. And he's grabbing some of these corpses, and he's literally thrown them on top of you. So that when you come out of incapacitated, you have blood right there that you just hungrily just latch into and start drinking. Drink. It's already going cold and stale. It's slightly disgusting because it's not from a warm living body. but it is enough to give you both 10 blood points.
And we can use that to heal, yes?
Yes. Now remember, any lethal damage that went beyond incapacitated would have put you to... started
Torpor.
aggravated. It actually would have put you to torpor.
Yeah.
So is Ainana in torpor?
No, she's just short of
Or-
it.
How about Ionessa? Is she in torpor?
Well, I went 3 damage past incapacitated, so
So yeah. Yeah. So he's down to a party of 1. Exeter's down to a party of 1. Alright. Marcus, your main character gets 2 experience. Alcides, your main character gets 2 experience. Inessa, your main character gets 2 experience for tonight. We have 1 left.
I think I'm gonna go make a coffee.
I assume you're ending the one shot here.
Not quite. Hextor kind of looks at the Ariana. He's like, I really was going to rely on Alcides' sorcery knowledge to break into the tomb, but I might be able to do it. Are you okay to keep going?
I don't know those things. They are not humans, but they also are not vampires. They had some kind of sorcery at their disposal, something that I never seen before.
He goes, yeah, I was pretty scared. Not gonna lie to you, that looked kind of weird. The swirling dome of whatever that thing was. Yeah, I might have to take a bath. I might have to stick out a stream as soon as I can. So
There is also some kind of blade. Not a normal blade, but a blade seemed to be made of, I don't know, screaming souls perhaps.
well, if you want to leave and abandon the reward that was promised to you, I obviously will not stop you.
She grits her teeth for a moment. I will continue on for the moment.
He says, now, Agata said it was right here in this area, and I see 6 tombs. So he spends the next couple of hours, like, going up to the entranceway to each one, like, rubbing the stone, looking at the signs. You see language, stuff written on each of these stones. It's completely unfamiliar. This is, in fact, what today's scholars call Linear A and Linear B. Alcides could have read this. He had the languages to do it. Eventually, he stops and he says, I think this is it. And he retrieves some implements from the donkey, and he says, can you grab Inessa's body? I think we're going to need some of her blood, and I don't think she'll mind.
Ariana goes over to Inessa, picking up her torpid body over her shoulder and carrying it over to the man.
He proceeds to drain some of her blood on the walls, and he begins to paint occult symbols with her hair. And he's like, I think this is going to do it. You might want to stand back.
She stands well back, very well back.
And he says some words, and you see red, glowy hellfire light glow between some cracks on the stone. And you hear a snap, pop, as the door opens. He's like, yes, it worked. And he's like, oh yeah. I didn't think I could do that. Yes, I didn't know it was going to work. Whew. He's pumped up, so happy.
It is hellfires, that green hellfire that she sees. I
It's
imagine
actually
they will not-
red.
Oh, okay. She has no idea what she's not able to place it in with anything else. She has no context to it. Yes.
Correct. It's like just looks weird.
She's going to cautiously approach.
He's like, I need some help. Help me get this door open. And he's like trying to move it, and he can't. He doesn't have this power.
She steps forward.
With your
and tries
potence,
to-
you do.
Yes.
It's heavy. And you feel the stone scraping. And you pull it open. There's a stale crap air kind of rushes out from it. And the two of you enter. The tomb is pretty empty. It's actually small. You go down a long hallway. He's got a torch lit. And there's a center sarcophagus with a wooden lid. The wood is pretty rotted away, so he just kind of like brushes it off, and you see a body laying in this stone crypt, and it's got a bronze mask on it. It's got the bronze is like tinted with a green luster. The corpse has a chest plate of bronze. It's got very fanciful depictions of bulls with axe dancers. It's lightly tarnished, but it's untouched. He has a bronze sword with him, and he has gold rings and like gold torques and jewelry on the skeletal arms. The body's a skeleton. All flesh is gone, just turned to dust. And Hexeter takes the mask, and he says, "I've promised. If you wish to have any of the rest of this, it's yours."
She goes over to the coffin and starts examining, trying to see how valuable the armor looks, if it looks useful, if it fits her.
The jewelry, if it doesn't fit you, could easily be sold for quite a bit of money. You'd probably never convince somebody this was the breastplate of Agamemnon, but the scroll work and stuff on it is gorgeous. The leather on it is rotted away. You'll need to replace the leather, but you can definitely carry it with you. Get some rope and like tie it. So it's probably worth taking, and you can get it repaired and wear it if you wanted to.
She's going to be taking. What about the coffin itself?
It's stone.
Does not look valuable. Does not has anything in it that could be used to be sold.
Like I said, he's got a bunch of jewelry on him, gold stuff and like precious metals and stones.
But the coffin itself is not adorned.
No, the coffin itself is just stone.
All right. After a few more seconds examining the surroundings, she's going to proceed to step outside with the everything that she could carry.
Right? Yeah, you can stuff that on in a convenient bag. Take it all with you. The sword itself, not really useful. It's an old thing made of old technology. So it'd be useful to sell or to keep as a trophy.
Likely keeping
He
some
says,
of
"Okay." You guys walk out of the tomb. He says, "Here we go." And he takes the mask and he brushes it off, cleans it off, and he puts it on. And you see this pale luster like flashes for a moment. And his eyes light up green. And he looks around at his surroundings. And he's got his arms out and he's like touching stuff like, wow, this is amazing. And as he walks, he talks to you. He says, "I can see the flow of magic. I can see it. I can see the touch of the gods." And he's like kind of stumbling his way across the city. And he makes his way to a well-known gate, the Lion Gate. And he says, "Here." Here it is. Only now tonight can this tomb be opened. Can this be opened? And he touches the ground. So there's a stone that's actually underfoot. And he says, here, help me pry it up. And he like grabs his knife and stuff, and he tries to wedge it and clean the dirt and shit out from around it. And he's like, I need your help. Help me pry this thing up and out of here.
She moves in to start prying the thing open.
It's a lot of effort, like pushing, prying, getting the rope in. Ugh! It's a thick piece of granite. And you finally, with a ton of effort, wedge it up, and you get it slid up and on top. This thing is easily 2 feet thick. Incredibly heavy. Only tonight, with the literal assistance of omens and magic, could have been opened. And there's an open pit underneath. And he says, what I seek is down there. And he leaps into the pit. Do you follow him?
Yes.
Right. You jump in. He's got the torch with him. And he's walking down. It's a long, dark hallway. No light whatsoever. You can see not even any air. The torch is like guttering. Only the fresh air coming in from the pit you just opened provides enough air for it. You get to the center, and in the center, there is another stone sarcophagus, and on top of the sarcophagus is a stone carving of the Medusa head. The snakes coming out, they're hissing. They got the fangs out, poisonous fangs. There are, along the walls are lined with gold and silver polished plates. There's some sort of wording carved as you take the opportunity to go examine the carvings. There's something carved into it, some sort of phrase you see repeated over and over and over and over.
I imagine she's unable to read it.
Not unless you have ancient Mycenaean.
Nope.
Along the walls, along with the golden and silver plating, there are old weapons such as spears, swords, and a bow. And each of these weapons are richly decorated in precious metals and gems. Like, ridiculously so. These things could never have seen use on a battlefield. They're so overworked. And Hexator looks at it and he says, Ariana, I need one more thing. I need you to help me get this lid off.
She moves over to the coffin, putting her hands on...
As you put your hands on the lid, you hear a sibilant hiss. And it echoes in a language you understand. Why have you awoken me? I will give you roll dexterity plus athletics at difficulty 10.
Can I blood buff my dexterity?
This is an instantaneous reaction, a reaction to fear. You do get to add your celerity rating to your dex dice pool, though.
I still have I forgot to remove the wound.
Reroll it. Remove those wound penalties. And add your discipline, because you get celerity.
I did, I added, but I also had the penalty from the light ladder.
Mm-hmm. Shit. Alright, well, as you lay your hands, you hear this hiss, and you're like, oh, fuck, and you go to jump back, and a fist punches through the stone sarcophagus and grabs you and yanks you. Bam! Straight into the stone, and you feel it pull your guts out. As you awaken the 4th generation Nosferatu, Medusa. And as you lay dying, and you feel your flesh beginning to decay, only now do you see the shadows that Hexator casts are every bit as disgusting as Medusa was rumored to be. And you see his face change and become liquid as it's revealed he was no human at all, but another Nosferatu. If you could have read the writing, it would have said, the Nictuku cometh, and beware the Nictuku. Ariana, you get 3 experience for being the only one to make it to the tomb of Medusa. Alright, I am going to stop the recording, and we'll do a little post-discussion, and we'll talk about the next game, which is going to be next weekend. Okay, guys, that's the Halloween session for 2021. This was my first ever total party kill in all the years I've been gaming, so I'm glad that was a throwaway game with throwaway characters. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you once again for listening. It means a lot to us that at least somebody pays attention and likes hearing us play. So keep it up and have a great evening.